Good day, Barry Drennan, Fairburn Protocol H2H. Just like to say thank you for your support, watching us. It's good stuff. We're here today with this young lady to demonstrate some technique to you. Methodology that we're going to be looking at is dealing with a hand grip. We're going to be dealing with that in a sense that you guys probably don't see that often. And we're going to be directly with William M. Fairburn. Fairburn, if you're familiar with Get Tough, teaches releases to grips and releases to hand grips. But if we go to his words, he will say to you, and I'll paraphrase of course, that you have to be kind of an idiot in order to have somebody grab you in the first place. You were failing in your awareness and you were failing in your methodology in terms of avoiding it. So this is the approach that we're going to be showing you today, is awareness. Now we have to understand that in real life there is going to be times when you're going to be consumed by something in your vision, attending to your child, something like that, at which point you are vulnerable and you could be grabbed. So nobody's saying to you that you're going to be Superman or perfect, and this is going to happen all the time. But when we can, we will avoid before dealing with the artifact, which means the actual grip. So that's what we're going to be dealing with this time here. Okay? So that's the way it works out. Okay. So that's the type of response that you're looking for. As I went to grab her, she didn't wait till I took a hold of her to make the movement and then deal with the seizure type of thing, which can often be considered a bit greater effort. For example, a hair grab or a grab to the arm often results in a pull or something, which already starts to throw you off balance and lessen your ability to respond. So before any of that took place, she already took care of it. Now, if I was to grab her at the belt or the arm, she's going to do the same movement. If I was to grab her at the wrist, same movement. If I was to grab her at the shoulder, same movement. If I was to grab her by the hair, same movement. Grab her by the head, same movement. So that movement is universally applicable across any grab towards that body. That arm comes in to grab, it gets received in the same fashion. Now, watch what she did when she struck. The first strike, boom. She goes straight away, right to the radial nerve. The radial nerve and the medial nerve control my hand. So just like stubbing your funny bone, we start to get disruption to that, to the point where I can't even close my hand. So that's the very first thing she did, was disrupt that structure, so I lost assets in terms of my ability to attack her. Then right away, off of that, she goes to her second move. Bouncing off of that, she strikes into my neck area. She's going into my carotid artery, my vagus nerve, my jugular. And the step that she took, when she delivered that first step, she went in and she stepped offline. Took herself completely out of the power range, out of the thrust, out of the punch, all those things that I premeditated to do upon the grip, now are dealing with a moving target, lessening their opportunity to actually score. She's got off that power line if I was advancing with these things. I was going to just come through and drive that in. She's off that line. All of that with that one first shot. Then right off that, she bounces off and drives into my neck. Now the vagus nerve tells your heart to pump, and it tells your lungs to breathe. Meanwhile, you're getting massive pumps of blood pressure up into your brain when she strikes in with that edge of her hand across the artery. She strikes on a horizontal like this in case I have big muscle structures, not flat, so I can get disrupted by muscle and lose the power into the density of the muscle. So that's the movement that comes in right after that. That might knock me out, but we never count on that. We don't stop unless they drop. That's the little phrase that we use to frame our mind. So she immediately, right on the tail of that, boom, boom, this comes in. Now, pneumatic strikes to the ear. Cupped hand, pneumatic strikes into the ear, ramming air into the ear canal, disrupting the labyrinth, which controls your equilibrium, and quite possibly busting the eardrum, driving pain. So you got disruption of balance and pain. And she does it 2 times to make sure the effect is now either I'm on the ground already or I'm really set for a follow-up knee to the testicles, grab to the head, which she already has off the 2 slaps, a headbutt to my nose, mouth area, break my jaw, that type of thing, cutting over into the top of the eye, bleeding down the eye, secondary shots. All of these things become viable off that same bang, bang, bang flow. We also note that these targets don't have to happen in that sequence, A, B, C, D. We can mix them up. You can come in different avenues. You can come in bang, 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 bang if you wish. Whichever you wish. She could have gone straight off without me actually making the grab, without even going after the arm. She could have taken that opportunity to go straight into the throat right off the bat. As soon as I stepped in, right away, she steps inside my arm, pushing it out with her body and driving that shot in. Same opportunity, same movement, same sequence, same flow. Now, you take that same flow and you jack it up. We take a thing, for example, a tool, in this case a knife. So we throw a scenario at you. She's in her house, and a person comes into the house, she's now faced with that person, it's a hostile situation, the person has uttered lethal threats, and threats of that nature, which by law allow her to deal with it in a lethal fashion. So she grabs a kitchen knife off the counter. We don't care if the knife is your big butcher knife, or if it's got a blade of an inch and a half. A blade that's 1 inch long is lethal, and lethal in the karate. So the movement is exactly the same. Cut, back. So she comes in, she lacerates me, pops the ear, and then drives the point of that blade into my carotid artery, again to the outside, the cross sheath. When she does that, she jacks the knife. She rams it in and jacks the knife, cutting through that area and lethalizing that blow. The thing that's interesting here is, first movement again. She steps to the outside, as we described, all that element takes into effect. But when she makes that cut, she cuts here. She cuts here, again, brachial artery, cut. The muscle is cut underneath where the bicep joins to the body. The ligament is cut, all with that same area, and the median nerve in the same area, also cut. One strike, major disabling of that arm. She steps in immediately, cuts through my throat, cutting out, again, carotid artery, vagus nerve, jugular vein. Pops that ear, as described. I'm looking in pretty sad shape, and then she thrusts it in from the other side and jacks the knife. Lethal response for a very lethal situation under the laws. So we take that same thing and we look at it from a different angle. We'll take it, use the same weapon, just turn it upside down for convenience of the video, and we pretend it's a baton. Now the same thing she's going to do. She's going to extend my hand, she strikes, pops, and rams. Now what's happening here? Very same thing. As with the edge of handling, now with the blunt force of a weapon, that hard surface of it, whatever it could be, she goes after the same targets. Same targets coming up into the throat. Same targets coming up into the ear. Same target, ramming the tip of that, high pressure, high penetration into that neck nerve area to initiating that first response. We're talking about a first response. I stepped in, my chest movement stepped in, her movement bang, 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 and I'm limited by the motions to control my second movement, and every time I'm taking a deficit, which gives her a greater sense of opportunity. Fantastic situation, excellent control. Thank you very much, like I say, for your support. It's fantastic. Thank you for your help. You have a great day.